Hi Leo, welcome to your love reading for June 2019. This is Elizabeth from ChannelGuidance.com. I've already shuffled the decks and I am doing one extra spread for you for this month. We're going to use these two decks to do the spread that we always do. We're going to do the X spread with this deck, but I'm also going to do a spread for those of you that are completely single and you just want to know if you're going to be meeting somebody new in the month of June. Let's go ahead and begin. You did have a few jumping cards from this deck right here, so let me show you what those are. The first card that jumped immediately was this one. You have the Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles, to me, this is things moving slowly. There could be slow progress and maybe healing a relationship, slow progress in getting back together with your ex, slow progress in meeting somebody new. Now the other cards, they jump separately. You also had the Seven of Pentacles. So this can definitely be decisions being made. This usually means somebody's being very careful, so definitely ties in with the Knight of Pentacles. Someone's being very careful about what they're going to do next as far as a relationship or their love life. You also had the Queen of Pentacles, which represents an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, male or female, sun, moon, or rising. You also had the Lovers card, which to me this represents a relationship that you want very much. This can be a very significant relationship because it is a major arcana. It can also represent the sign of Gemini. The other card that you had, and you had quite a few, was the Ace of Pentacles. So this represents some kind of new opportunity for you. It can be, for those of you who are single, a completely new relationship. It can also just be a new beginning in your existing relationship. Okay, so let's go ahead and put these back. I feel like last month you also had a lot of jumping cards, but sometimes these are just random messages that some of you need to hear, and they may or may not come up again. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. This is a love reading for the sign of Leo for June 2019. The first card that you have, Leo, is the Two of Pentacles. Love reading for the sign of Leo for June. You have the Page of Pentacles. Love reading for the sign of Leo for June. You have the Six of Cups. Love reading for the sign of Leo for June. You have the Five of Cups. Love reading for the sign of Leo for June. Five of Swords. Love reading for the sign of Leo for June. Eight of Wands. Love reading for the sign of Leo for June. Death. Love reading for the sign of Leo for June. You have the Hangman. Love reading for the sign of Leo for June. And the Seven of Cups. Okay, what's the most important thing that Leo needs to hear about their love life for June 2019? The message that you have, Leo, is a Two of Wands. So, I mean, this would definitely make sense, you know, as far as why that Knight of Pentacles jumped for you, which you don't have it here again, but you do have a similar energy. The Two of Wands represents waiting. This represents delays. And remember, the Knight of Pentacles, which jumped for you, that represents slow progress. So there is some progress being made and some type of, you know, problem that you have in a relationship. You do have two fives here. This represents waiting. So we'll come back to this card to see how it ties in with the rest of the reading. If you would like to get a private reading with me, just go to my website, ChannelGuidance.com. I'll put a link down below. Also a link to my Facebook. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what you have going on here. You have the Two of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, and the Six of Cups. So the Two of Pentacles is telling me that there's some type of instability in your love life right now. Usually with this Two of Pentacles, you don't quite understand what's going on. This can be a relationship that is off and on. It can be somebody who's in and out of your life. It might also be just someone who's not providing a lot of stability. I feel like you will be looking at this very carefully. You have the Page of Pentacles, which usually means that you're studying a situation, you're studying a relationship, you're studying your feelings for this person, their feelings for you. I mean, it can definitely be the other way around, where maybe somebody that comes and goes, maybe somebody that is, you know, kind of wishy-washy, because that is the energy of this card. Somebody who has been doing that to you could be reflecting on, you know, what have I been doing? Because you do kind of have those messages down here, which I'm going to get to in a minute. I just see instability here, coming and going, and somebody is reflecting on this. Now, you also have the Six of Cups. So the Six of Cups, to me, this has to do with the past, emotions from the past, or someone from the past. For some of you, I mean, it's hard to say in a general reading, but I feel like for some of you, it could be that somebody has a history of doing this to you. Somebody has a history of coming and going. an off and on relationship, and this is something you might really be looking at in the month of June. But for those of you where there's an ex involved, it could be that, you know, an ex who occasionally comes back and disappears. And again, this would be their energy. You would be really looking at this to figure out if this is best for you. Now, in the second row, this gives us a little bit more information. You have the Five of Cups, the Five of Swords, and the Eight of Wands. So this got my attention right away because the fives usually do represent some type of challenge. They represent a problem. They represent that something is not balanced, which is pretty much this energy as well. These all tie in together. This is a lack of balance. This is a juggling act, instability. There is a problem in a relationship here. I mean, I feel like it can be resolved because you have the Eight of Wands. But I mean, the Five of Swords, usually this card means that somebody could be sabotaging a relationship. I mean, they can definitely be sabotaging it by maybe not committing to you. Somebody could be sabotaging a relationship by not making a decision, because sometimes the Two of Pentacles just means that you need to decide. You need to choose, possibly between two things, two people, two outcomes. And with this card, you're working against yourself in some way, sometimes by making the wrong decision. So for some of you, that could be the message. But there's also a lot of unhappiness here with the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups does mean that there is tears, there is sadness, there's a sense of loss. So for some of you, you may have someone who left your life. You may have had someone break up with you. This is usually some type of sadness that you feel like you can't quite shake it off. You can't forget about the person. You keep dwelling on your pain. For some of you, it can be maybe, it can even be that your partner made a mistake and they're dwelling on that. Maybe they regret what they did. Perhaps they regret not really being there for you. Maybe they regret the way the relationship started, you know, an off and on relationship, instability. But you do have change here. You have the Eight of Wands. So the Eight of Wands means that there is change coming. Perhaps in a relationship where someone made a mistake, somebody made a very unwise decision. There's change coming in a relationship where there has been a lot of tears, a lot of pain, a lot of sadness, disappointment. The Eight of Wands means that that change that you've been waiting for, that, you know, that anticipated change, whatever it is that you want to see, it's coming. The Eight of Wands means there is a surprise coming to you. I feel like you will be surprised in a relationship where there was a lot of issues and things were very unstable. For some of you, possibly with someone from the past. Now down here, you have Death, the Hangman, and the Seven of Cups. So I mean, let me just start here. You have the Hangman, which means that there's something going on in your love life, Leo, where things are stuck. The Hangman means that you're not moving forward. You're in a place of limbo. But, you know, this can be because there's a lot of confusion. You have the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups, usually it does represent decisions, choices. So that is a big theme for you for this month. So what is it that you need to choose? What is it that you need to decide? Do you need to decide to leave a relationship? Do you need to decide if you're going to take somebody back? The Seven of Cups means that you're highly confused and you're lost about what you're going to do. There's a lack of clarity. There's a lack of clarity, the Seven of Cups, because you're so emotional and you're kind of just very emotionally scattered. So there's, you know, you're just in limbo here. You're not moving forward. But you do have this card. So Death is telling you that in a situation where you feel stuck, you're in limbo, you're highly confused, the Death card does mean that there is a huge change coming up for you. This can also represent the sign of Scorpio for some of you. Perhaps your partner, perhaps an ex. Death means that there will be a huge transformation in a relationship where you have just been stuck. Things were not moving forward. Perhaps in a relationship where somebody needed to choose and make a decision, where there was a lot of confusion. Again, Death means there would be a huge transformation. But it does usually imply there has to be an ending for there to be a new beginning. It could be the end of doubt, the end of fear, the end of pain, the end of bad decisions. Back to the main energy. Keep in mind that there's still waiting energy around you. You're still maybe waiting for someone to come around. Maybe you're waiting for someone to change. But I do see that change right here. Okay, let me get a few more cards for you. Let's see what else comes up. What other messages are there for the sign of Leo for June 2019? You have the Queen of Wands. What other messages are there for the sign of Leo for June? Interesting. King of Wands. What other messages are there for the sign of Leo for June? and the Nine of Wands. So, I mean, you have the King and the Queen of Wands with the Nine of Wands. So, I mean, you are a fire sign, but for some of you where you have a partner who's either another Leo, an Aries, or a Sagittarius, this is really speaking to you. Let me just start there. You have a really strong fear-based energy here with the Nine of Wands. This is someone who is afraid of just letting go, afraid maybe of just making a decision. Because, I mean, you did start with that energy, the Two of Pentacles. The Nine of Wands is just not wanting to be hurt, so you're staying put. You're staying in your safe place because you don't want to be wrong, you don't want to be hurt. So you're playing it safe. I mean, and you have, your energy is strong here. So for like, I feel for most of you, the majority of you, it's possibly you that is doing this. But of course, if you have a partner or an ex who's also a fire sign, this can be them. But also when I see the King and the Queen of Wands, that's a fiery energy, but it also means that it's the same thing. You have to take the lead and maybe moving past your fears. Because this energy here, you're paranoid and you just want to protect yourself. It could be that you're being protective of yourself because you've been dealing with someone that has been coming and going. There's been a lot of instability. There's been a lot of confusion. There's been a lot of emotions. There's very emotional energy here and here with the Five of Cups. A lot of sadness and a lot of disappointment. I feel like someone has let you down and now you're afraid of just opening your heart. You're afraid of just letting go. Okay, let's see what the confirmation deck wants to add to all of this. What other messages are there for the sign of Leo for June? You have the Queen of Cups. What other messages are there for the sign of Leo for June? The Hangman. So the Hangman is your confirmation card. What other messages are there for the sign of Leo for June? Wow. And the Seven of Cups is also a repeat card. Okay. What's the most important thing that Leo needs to hear about their love life for June 2019? The message that you have, Leo, is, wow, another five, the Five of Wands. So this does represent, I mean, for some of you, it can be maybe there's a lot of fighting in a relationship or a marriage. There's a lot of bickering. This is petty energy. It could also be that, you know, there is a struggle going on. There is a personal struggle. Somebody is fighting themselves. It could be, you know, this person here that maybe comes in and out of your life. It could be this person from the past who is fighting themselves as far as committing to you. It could be this person who makes very bad decisions, very unwise decisions that comes back to haunt them. This person is fighting themselves. This is your main energy from the confirmation deck. There's a struggle going on around you. Okay, so let's take a look at these three, and two of them are repeat cards. When you have the Queen of Cups, so this would be a water sign. Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, male or female, sun, moon, or rising. It could even represent you if you have a moon or rising sign in a water sign. It can also be your partner. It can be your ex. It can be somebody new that you're going to meet. It can also just be that you need to trust your emotions, your feelings, and your intuition. The Hangman 2 times. There is something stuck here. There is a relationship that is not moving forward. And like I said, if you don't have a partner who is a water sign, if you don't have a moon or rising and they don't have a sun, moon, or rising, then there's a need to really get in touch with your emotions and trust your intuition, because things are not moving forward. With the Hangman, you're in limbo, you're stuck. But you also have the Seven of Cups as a repeat card. The Seven of Cups means that there's something very emotional going on with the sign of Leo. I mean, you have the Seven of Cups 2 times, the Queen of Cups, the Five of Cups, the Six of Cups. There's something very emotional happening and you're highly confused with the Seven of Cups. You don't know what to choose. So for some of you, I feel like you're making some type of decision. There's a decision. I know that you also had the Seven of Pentacles. It's not here in this spread, but the Seven of Pentacles did jump for you. It was one of those jumping cards that you had, and that is also a card of needing to decide, needing to choose. There is something that the sign of Leo is choosing, and you're very confused about what you're going to choose or who you're going to choose, and it means you're feeling very confused. So you really do need to trust your feelings here and your intuition. Let me see if anything else stands out here. I feel like you need to be, again, there's just this energy in this reading about decisions. The Two of Pentacles, the Five of Swords, the Seven of Cups 2 times, and that Seven of Pentacles that jump for you. You want to be careful what decisions you're making, whether you're deciding that, you know what, I'm just fed up with this person that comes and goes, or I don't want to take that ex back, or this person always screws up, I don't want to give them a second chance. The Page of Pentacles is saying do your homework. Look at things very carefully. Don't make decisions that you could regret. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the X spread using this deck right here. I already shuffled it, so let me get these out of the way. And as always, you can use this spread for those of you maybe where there is an ex you want to reconnect with, but it can also be someone that maybe you just dated, maybe you just saw them a few times and you want to know if you're going to be back in touch with them. Let's go ahead and see what comes up for you. Show me the energies around Leo and their ex for the month of June 2019. Ace of Cups, Leo and their ex for June 2019. Seven of Pentacles, Leo and their ex, June. Page of Swords, Leo and their ex, June. Ten of Wands, Leo and their ex, June. Eight of Wands, so this is a repeat card from the first spread. Leo and their ex for June. And Six of Pentacles. Okay, so let's take a look at these. You have the Ace of Cups, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Page of Swords. So the Ace of Cups is telling you that there can be a new beginning. I mean, it's kind of interesting here that the Seven of Pentacles, it didn't show up in the first spread, but here it is for those of you that are wondering about an ex. So, I mean, it can be that that was definitely applying to you in that first spread that I did for you. You may want to go back and watch after you watch this. The Seven of Pentacles is saying that there's a need to be very careful about what you're going to do next. You need to be very careful as far as a decision. I mean, it can definitely be that maybe it's not you that's being careful. It could be your ex that is being very careful as far as coming back to you. Because, I mean, you do have the Ace of Cups here, which means a new beginning, rekindling your relationship. There is a lot of thinking going on with the Seven of Pentacles. This is not just about deciding or choosing, but there is someone that is doing a lot of thinking. They're weighing the pros and cons of coming back to you. Your ex is going back and forth. Should I or shouldn't I? Is it a good idea? I do see some communication here with the Page of Swords. Usually this means that someone's going to be very open and upfront. So it could be that they're telling you, we did have problems, or maybe I wasn't, I made a mistake. The Page of Swords just means that somebody's really speaking their truth. But I do see a lot of thinking around your ex with the Seven of Pentacles. And again, this means that there's someone, whether it's you or your ex, someone is being very, very careful about what they're going to do next. They're weighing the pros and cons. They're weighing their options. But you do have this new beginning here. So I feel like for many of you, you can reunite with your ex. Now, at the bottom, you have the Ten of Wands, the Eight of Wands, and the Six of Pentacles. So the Ten of Wands means that there is some type of burden around you and your ex. I mean, this can definitely be the reason why you broke up, but this is just kind of a heaviness. This is kind of like an elephant in the room. You've got to clear this out if you're going to have this new beginning. From the Ace of Cups, there is some type of burden that this needs to be healed, this needs to be resolved if you're going to have that new beginning. There can be change. You have the Eight of Wands, which is a repeat card because this was in the first spread that I did for you. And the Eight of Wands means that you can see this change that you've been wanting to have with your ex. You can have this reunion. Here it is. You can have this change. This can even be communication. Maybe you've been waiting to hear from them. You can have that communication, you can have that change in the relationship, but this usually means that there's waiting involved. I mean, keep in mind that the main energy from the first spread that we did was a Two of Wands. So this is really just confirming what we see here. There is waiting involved as far as your ex, possibly because they're being very careful. The Seven of Pentacles, they're being very careful as far as, is it a good idea to get back together? Maybe they're trying to figure out their feelings. There was a whole lot of confusion in the first spread that I did for you, with the Seven of Cups coming up 2 times and the Hangman coming up 2 times, the Five of Swords, the Five of Cups. I mean, it was everywhere. But this means that, that there will be a change in your relationship with your ex, since it is a repeat card. This is a change you've been waiting for, a reunion, for some of you communication. But it does imply waiting. This also implies waiting. This means patience because someone's being very careful. But I do see you here. I do see you getting what you want from your ex. This is you receiving the relationship that you deserve. Or maybe even the apology that you deserve. This is you receiving what you want from this person. So for many of you, it's just a matter of timing. You're waiting for them to figure things out. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the single spread using this deck right here. Let me just get these out of the way. Again, we will keep in mind, for those of you maybe where you're getting over an ex and maybe you're also open to a new relationship, we'll keep in mind what has come up. Okay. Will Leo find a significant new relationship in the month of June 2019? The Chariot. Will Leo find a significant relationship in the month of June 2019? The King of Cups. Will Leo find a significant new relationship in the month of June 2019? Strength. Will Leo find a significant relationship in the month of June 2019? Queen of Swords. Interesting. Will Leo find a significant relationship in the month of June 2019? Seven of Swords. Will Leo find a significant relationship in June 2019? The Seven of Wands. Okay. So, for those of you where you're, again, this is for those of you that are single or you're anticipating being single and you just want to know, is there somebody new? I definitely see a water sign there with the King of Cups. This would be Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, male or female, sun, moon, or rising. But you also have the Chariot. The Chariot also does represent the sign of Cancer. So for some of you, maybe you have a significant relationship waiting for you with the sign of Cancer. Ironically, you have the Strength card there, which represents you, the sign of Leo. So I see Leo next to a water sign, and I see Leo next to a Cancer here. So for many of you, it could be that this person does bring in a significant relationship. The Chariot also represents victory. This represents a lot of movement in your love life. So we have to keep that in mind. Although it does represent Cancer, it's also, the energy of success. For many of you, perhaps you will have a successful relationship with a water sign. But you still have that message of being patient. You have the Strength card, which it does represent you, but the Strength card also represents patience. It represents perhaps, a relationship where you have to be careful that you don't let your fears get the best of you. Perhaps, you've been hurt in the past. Perhaps you don't trust easily. The Strength card is telling you to watch your inner beast, watch your ego, watch your fears. Now, you also have another person here. I haven't seen this in any of the other videos that I've done where there's been more than one person. For some of you, it could be that, there is a Cancer, there is perhaps another water sign, and there could be an air sign. This would be Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, male or female, sun, moon, or rising. Perhaps there's a choice. That could be what we were seeing in the first spread. Perhaps there's a choice as far as who you're going to be with, for those of you that are completely single. And you want to choose wisely. You have the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords can definitely be, it can be someone that maybe is not a good match for you. This can be someone who is two-faced. This can be someone who is deceitful. But it can also be that you don't want to work against yourself by allowing fear to get in the way. The Seven of Wands. With the Seven of Wands, you have to really perhaps stand up to your own fears, your own ego. Because I feel like there's many possibilities for you. There's definitely an energy here of water signs, whether it's a Cancer or maybe it's a Cancer, a Scorpio, or Pisces. But there's also an air sign here, which again, I haven't seen this in the other spreads. I don't want to leave you like this, so let me get a confirmation card for each one to see who is a better option for you. Show me the energies around this Cancer, the Chariot. What does this person bring to the sign of Leo? Well, we have the King of Pentacles. So for some of you, it can definitely be a Cancer with maybe a moon or rising in Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. Perhaps for some of you, this is helping you to kind of narrow it down as far as who you're meeting. Let me get another one. What does this Cancer bring to the life of Leo? Show me the energy. What does this person bring into their life? Well, this was one of the jumping cards from the first spread, the Knight of Pentacles. Perhaps there will be slow progress with this Cancer here. But this does represent movement for you. And again, this did come up as a jumping card when we first started the reading. So there could be a relationship with a Cancer where things just start off slowly. So don't get too frustrated, which could be maybe why you have the Strength card. Let's see this other card here. What does this water sign bring into Leo's life? For some of you, it may not be a Cancer. It could be a Pisces or a Scorpio. What does this water sign bring into Leo's life? Again, it's just you have a lot of thinking to do. The Hermit is about soul searching. You need to figure out, you may have strong fears or concerns about the people that you're meeting in the month of June. You will definitely be meeting somebody. But again, it could be that it's just a matter of figuring things out. You don't have to jump the gun. There's slow progress here. There's a lot of thinking going on here. If it's not a Cancer, if it's a Scorpio or a Pisces, You have a lot of thinking to do as far as, you know, do you really want to be with this person? Is this the one for you? Now, you also have the Queen of Swords. Let me see what comes up for this air sign. Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. What does this air sign bring into Leo's life? There you go. This is the soulmate card. This would be a very good match for you. I mean, the Queen of Swords, again, that is an air sign. It could be a moon or rising, but this means there is a very strong emotional connection. Perhaps, you know, again, there is a choice here because you had a strong message in that first reading that I did for you, the very first spread of choices, needing to be careful. For those of you that are completely single, it could be that maybe the Cancer is not for you. Maybe it's the air sign. Maybe it's not the water sign, the Pisces or the Scorpio. Maybe it is the air sign. But for some of you, it could be that, yes, you do have a strong connection to a water sign here. It just means that things will develop slowly. Don't let your ego get in the way. Don't let your fears get in the way. You do have to really maybe stand up to your own fears, stand up to your own insecurities, especially if you've been in relationships where you have been hurt. Okay, Leo, this has been your love reading for June 2019. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll speak to you again next month.